Hey, welcome back, and in this video of Axure Noob to Master series we're gonna walk you through developer handover steps and the inspection tools in Axure Share. Now it's a big improvement for Axure, especially from Ep51 series, because Axure Share now packs a lot of different collaboration abilities, as well as, ability to kind of hand over the assets almost like in a Zeplin mode, where let's say you would work on your sketch designs, let's say, and then you could pass it to developers. They're trying to make it more of a end-to-end design tool as well as prototyping tool, rather just pure prototyping which developers can't use. And as you can see, my prototype from a previous video on drag and drop, which I can preview right now, looks quite simple. So let's say we can drag and drop our elements and everything is good. And imagine that this is micro interaction, which I want to pass it to our front-end developer to start implementing and prototyping on their front. So what I would do in Axure is the workflow, which is quite easy to master, but it's good to showcase because maybe it's going to give you ideas of how to do so. I'm going to go ahead and just go on our Axure Cloud Publish, and maybe I'm gonna add a password or something like that. Can add notes as well, import interactions, fonts if I want to. I covered it in a previous video. It doesn't really matter, but for now I want to just say drag and drop for dev. Let's say for developer, I'm gonna allow comments, and then I'm gonna publish it. And so as you can see, the prototype has been uploaded and I can go to Axure online. But the new interesting bit is the new Axure Cloud. If you're just new to, let's say, Axure 9, you have a button on top, which is, almost like a beta version of it. And if I go into it, it's gonna open an app which gonna have a little bit different outlook. I mentioned this in the previous videos, but you're gonna have many more options to play with. And if I go into our prototype, let's say, you're gonna see that I have all those pages in my Axure file, just like here, and they're presented in kind of like a visual outlook. So that now, let's say if the developers are invited in this and they're welcome to inspect, they could just click on inspect mode, or you could do it yourself, let's say, as a designer, and you're gonna have a beta type of approach where you can click on different things, let's say fonts and typography and all the other bits, and you can inspect exactly what was used and what icon, let's say, was used, kind of like what Zeplin has right now, as mentioned before. And you can have the colors and even the CSS functional code to apply with. So it makes so much easier for developers to implement, because they can not only pick up the margin sizes or the styling sizes, but also download the assets. So let's say this icon, why not? I just boom, download it right away, and I can use it in my code, let's say. So it's quite nifty, quite handy. You can also go to a preview and see exactly what happens, and then go to inspect and inspect the things and understand exactly what it is. Now one of the things which is quite a shortcoming from it is, let's say, the mouse over states, because if I mouse over, let's say, and then I go to inspect, it doesn't appear. So I think that's something that Axure could pick up next, but in essence it allows developers and designers collaborate better, because you can just send your prototypes, and at least from visual stylistic UI perspective, they are gonna be able to pick up everything they need. They can check the typeface, sizes, alignments, everything what they would want to, or copy this to a clipboard. Now other bits, you can also show, let's say, hotspots, so what's clickable, what's not clickable. But again, it doesn't really allow you to go into detail and kind of see exactly the mouse over effects or something, for now at least, because as you can see, it's beta. So as with everything, it's probably gonna improve over time, but that's the essence of it, and that allows you to inspect anything you wish. And same as for, let's say, other prototypes. So let's say this one is bigger and it has more imagery and stuff, but as you can see, if I'm developer, I can just quickly take off the content, take off the styling for headlines, the color, even maybe just go ahead and copy the stuff, and it gives you even an ID automatically generated. So it's a nifty tool. But now, let's say from designer perspective, if this is your first prototype, you're working with developers, how would you share to other people and how would you, let's say, allow them to inspect it? And so how you would invite the developers, if you would go to one of your workspaces, let's say, you would need to create workspace. You know, that project I just showed you, it's in my project, so I can't really invite anyone, but I could, let's say, click on that and move my project to, I don't know, personal, let's say, which is a custom thing I created. And here I have a couple of examples which I can share with others. And if, let's say, I go on this icon where I can add a person, I can invite the users to our workspace. And it could be something like johnsmith@company.com. I can click and then they're going to be available to see exactly the same view. And they can either be a viewer only if you don't want your developers to, you know, F up your designs or delete the wrong prototypes, do that. But we're going to be able to inspect just like I showed you before. So I hope this was useful and you're going to start, you know, using Axure from end-to-end kind of perspective, so you can use it as a tool to not only design things, prototype things, but also hand over your assets, you know, be it visual or interactive. There are some caveats, some shortcomings, but it's a useful bit for Axure, and I hope it's useful for you too. If so, give a like, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below, and as usual, I'll see you next time.